The stories I'm going to be telling you are 100% true. My hand to God, all of these actually really happened. Now, I was blessed enough in my life to know my great grandmother for the first 25 years of my life. Grandma McCormick passed away in 2001. So for the first 25 years of my life, I got to know her and be around her. And a lot of people don't get to know their great grandparents that well. But I was very blessed in that regard. Now, as people get older sometimes, that filter between brain and mouth goes away. And that certainly happened with Grandma McCormick. Right now, my filter glitches out. So when I get to be 90 years old, if I'm lucky enough to live that long, I probably won't have one either. Now, with all the wonderful and sweet moments I had with Grandma McCormick, I'm going to tell you some of the funnier ones because that's what we do here on That Kelly Guy. I try to make you laugh. So I'm going to tell you some true stories that happened with Grandma McCormick. When I was little, I collected I loved Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars. And I used to get these motorcycles. And I remember being at her house, and she never called them a motorcycle. She called them motorcycles. She said, "Oh, look, he's playing with a motorcycle." And to this day, if I'm out somewhere with my wife and we see a motorcycle, I'll say, "Look, honey, it's a motorcycle," because I always think about Grandma McCormick. When I was, a teenager, I guess about 14, we were at Grandma McCormick's house, and I patted my jeans pocket, and I said, "Grandma, I got some good stuff in here." And she goes, "It's not drugs, is it?" And I said, "No." And I showed her it was baseball cards. They were putting baseball cards in Post cereal for some reason, and we were collecting them. Collected the whole set, actually. But I remember showing her these Post cereal baseball cards. That was in 1990. Now, when I was little and into being a teenager, during the summer times, we would have like these little family get-togethers where my aunts and uncles would come in from, all the places that they live across the country, and we'd all get together and have like a little family reunion. And I get to see my cousins, and it was a really good time. Well, we would always make a trek over to see Grandma McCormick, and sometimes we'd go to the park or stop and get ice cream. It was just a summer tradition. And when I was a teenager, we went to see Grandma McCormick, and there was a certain female family member. I'm not going to say who, so don't even ask me. But there was a certain female family member, when she saw Grandma McCormick came out and said, "Oh, you're getting so fat." And I thought that was bad enough. And then she said, "Come on into the house. I got some Slim Fast in the kitchen." That's great. That was vintage Grandma McCormick right there. And we were at church once. And gosh, I guess this was in 2000, because that's when we started attending the same church as her. And she loved to hear Kay Medlin teach Sunday school. And I don't think Kay was there one Sunday morning, and someone else taught. And we were sitting out in the pews after Sunday school, and Grandma McCormick says to my mom very loudly, "I don't like that woman that taught Sunday school. I'll be glad when Kay gets back." And of course, Mom leans over and says, "Grandma, that woman who taught Sunday school is sitting right behind you." I'm sure she didn't look around to see who was behind her, but regardless, yeah, she put it out there. She was bluntly honest. And last but not least, this is a story I've told probably 100 times, and I don't know, it still to this day makes me laugh, so I'm going to tell you guys. This was in 2000, so she was 90 years old, and she called me, and she said, during the course of the conversation, "Brother Randy came over to see me today," in that familiar Grandma McCormick voice. Now, I knew who she was talking about. His name was Randy Duda, And Randy's mom's name, she had the coolest name in the world, Ida Duda. Well, anyways, I knew who she was talking about. But I said, Brother Randy, I said, what's his last name? And she replied with, Doo. Oh, man, I miss my grandma McCormick.